How Bitcoin works: transaction blocks, hashing, and consensus. Bitcoin is an extraordinary innovation in the world of finance, a decentralized digital currency that empowers individuals to send and receive value directly without intermediaries like banks or government. It's built on remarkable technology called the blockchain, a transparent and secure public ledger that records every transaction ever made. In this exploration, we'll dive into the core components of Bitcoin: transactions, blocks, hashing, and consensus. While celebrating its positive impact and potential, we will also weave into perspectives from India and also the US to highlight its global relevance. So, what is Bitcoin? At its heart, Bitcoin is a peer-to-peer system that allows anyone with an internet connection to participate in global economy. Introduced in 2009 by an anonymous figure known as Satoshi Nakamoto, it operates without central authority, relying instead on network of computers to maintain its integrity. This decentralization is what makes Bitcoin so powerful. It gives user control over their money, opens doors to financial freedom worldwide. Transactions, building block of um, Bitcoin. Let's start with transactions, the fundamental action in Bitcoin. A transaction is simply the transfer of Bitcoin from one person to another. Every Bitcoin user has digital address. Think of it as a unique account number generated by a pair of cryptographic keys. A public key and a private key. Uh, when you when you want to send Bitcoin, you create a transaction specifying how many Bitcoins you are sending and to which address. For example, imagine I'm in the US and you want to send one Bitcoin to my friend in India. My wallet software constructs a transaction where inputs the bitcoins I'm spending linked to my address from the previous transaction I received. Outputs the distinction my friend's address where one Bitcoin will go. Once I sign my transaction with my private key to prove I own the bitcoins, it broadcasts to the Bitcoin network. This process is fast, secure, and eliminates the need for any bank to verify or process the payment. Something specially valuable in India where cross border remittances can be slow and costly. Hashing, ensuring security and integrity. How do we know my transaction to India isn't tampered with? This is where hashing shines. Hashing is a cryptographic technique that takes data, like the details of my transaction, and transforms it into a fixed length string of characters called hash. This hash is unique. Change even one tiny detail, like the amount or the address, and the hash becomes entirely different. In Bitcoin, every transaction is hashed using a algorithm called SHA-256. This hash acts like a digital footprint, ensuring that the transaction data remains unchanged as it travels through the network. If someone tried to alter my one Bitcoin transfer to send two instead, the hash wouldn't match and the network would reject it. This makes Bitcoin incredibly secure and trustworthy, a feature that inspires confidence whether you're in Mumbai or New York. Blocks, organizing transactions. Transactions don't float around on their own, they are bundled into blocks. A block is like a page on the blockchain ledger containing a collection of recent transactions. Once a block is full, typically holding hundreds or thousands of transactions, it's ready to be added to the blockchain. Each block has a header with key information. Merkle root, a single hash summarizing all transactions in the block, making it easy to verify them easily. Previous block hash, a link to the block before it chaining them together. Nonce, a special number minus adjust to solve a puzzle. This chaining is brilliant. If someone tries to change a transaction in an old block, its hash would shift, breaking the chain and alerting the network. It's this design that makes Bitcoin tamper evident and reliable, a quality appreciated by users in the US where regulatory clarity supports its adoption, and in India where trust in financial system can sometimes waver. Consensus, proof of work and network agreement. Adding a block to the blockchain isn't automatic. It requires agreement across the network. This is achieved through consensus mechanism called proof of work. Here's how it works. Computers running Bitcoin software compete to validate blocks. They take the block's header, including the Merkle root and the previous block hash, and try to find a nonce that, when hashed with SHA-256, produces a result with specific number of leading zeros. This target adjusts every 2016 blocks to keep block creation under 10 minutes, ensuring a steady pace. The first miner to find the valid nonce announces their solution. Other nodes verify it, and if correct, the block is added to the blockchain. The winning miner earns a reward, currently 6.25 bitcoins, plus transaction fees from users like me sending 1 bitcoin to India. This incentivizes miners to keep the network running smoothly. What if two miners solve it simultaneously? The network follows the longest chain rule. The chain with the most blocks wins. Over time, as more blocks pile on, transactions become nearly impossible to reverse, securing my payment to India or a purchase in the US. Bringing it all together, let's see the flow in action. I send 1 Bitcoin to my friend in India, broadcasting the transaction. Miners across the globe pick it up, adding it to a block they are working on. A miner solves the proof of work puzzle, hashes the block, and adds it to the blockchain. My transaction is confirmed and my friend receives the Bitcoin. This process is transparent. Anyone can view the blockchain and decentralized with no single point of failure. It's a system that thrives on collaboration and innovation. Bitcoin in India, empowerment and opportunity. In India, Bitcoin is a beacon of potential. With millions lacking access to traditional banking, its decentralized nature offers financial inclusion. Workers abroad use it to send money home faster and cheaper than banks, avoiding high fees and delays. Plus, India's tech savvy youth see it as an investment drawn by its fixed supply to 21 million coins, a shield against inflation in a growing economy. Interest in sustainable mining is also rising. India's abundant solar energy could power Bitcoin mining, blending innovation and environmental consciousness. While the government explores a central bank digital currency, Bitcoin's appeal lies in the freedom and privacy. Bitcoin in the US, adoption and resilience. In the US, Bitcoin enjoys widespread acceptance. Businesses from coffee shops to tech giants like Tesla embrace it, bolstered by clear regulatory framework that protects users and investors. Major corporations have poured billions into Bitcoin, viewing it as a store of value akin to digital gold. Mining here taps into renewable energy like hydroelectric power, turning excess resources into profit while reducing environmental impact. This ingenuity highlights Bitcoin's adaptability and resilience, a network unbroken despite years of challenges. The positives of Bitcoin. Bitcoin's brilliance lies in its design. Transparency. Every transaction is public, fostering trust. Hashing and proof of work makes it nearly unhackable. With only 21 million coins, it resists deflation. Fourth, it connects the unbanked to the world, which makes it very inclusive. The Lightning Network, a second layer solution, promises even faster, cheaper transaction. Imagine buying chai in India or a burger in US with Bitcoin instantly. Looking forward, Bitcoin's future is bright. As adoption grows, its value and utility soar. In the US, institutional investment signals longevity. In India, it empowers individuals. Its ability to evolve through efficiency improvements or new technologies ensures it remains a cornerstone of digital age. In essence, Bitcoin is more than a currency, it's a movement. From transactions to consensus, it defines money with security, transparency, and opportunity. Whether you are in Delhi or Dallas, Bitcoin invites you to shape a decentralized and inclusive financial future.